What would you do if the world doubted your strength? If a highly decorated US general looked at your army and quietly laughed? Most people would argue back. But the Filipino Special Forces? They didn't waste a word. They simply said, "Let's test it." This is a story of pride, humility, and a lesson the US military never forgot. And by the end of this story, even the American general would say words no one expected. The sun was unforgiving over Mindanao, hot enough to make metal burn to the touch. Helicopter rotors echoed across the base as American troops landed. Boots polished, rifles gleaming, confidence unshaken. Leading them was General Robert Hastings, a four-star officer known across NATO for his strictness and unbelievable tactical mind. The type of man soldiers salute out of both respect and fear. When Hastings heard the Filipino troops would join the joint training exercise, he smirked and asked his aide, "Tell me, are those stories true? The ones saying they move through jungles like smoke?" His aide shrugged. No one answered, so the general decided he wanted proof. During the opening briefing, with both armies standing in attention, Hastings stepped forward. 5 missions. Your troops versus mine. No politics, no excuses. We test skill, not rank. The Americans nodded proudly. They were the best of the best, combat-tested in Iraq, Afghanistan, Africa. The Filipinos stood quietly. No reaction, no boast, just calm eyes and relaxed shoulders. One Filipino Marine whispered to his teammate, "Let him see. The jungle will speak for us." General Hastings thought he'd crush them. He didn't know he was standing on the Filipinos' home ground. Mission 1, the Forest Run. Objective, reach extraction point hidden 9 kilometers inside dense rainforest. No GPS. The Americans spread maps, checked compasses, tightened boots. The Filipinos, light backpacks, bolo knives, hydration from bamboo water. The whistle blew. The US soldiers sprinted fast, but the deeper they ran, the heavier the jungle pressed back. Thorny vines caught their gear. Boots sank into wet soil. Humidity made every breath like steam. Meanwhile, the Filipino unit barely made sound. They didn't fight the jungle. They flowed with it. Following shadows, broken twigs, bird silence, wind direction. 1 hour later. The US squad reached the halfway marker, already exhausted. The Filipinos? They were sitting at the finish point brewing coffee in bamboo cups, laughing quietly. Round 1, Philippines 1, USA 0. Hastings squinted. This wasn't luck. Mission 2, Fire and Food Challenge. Objective, make fire and cook for your squad using natural resources only. Americans used fire steel, cords, friction drills. Smoke, no flame. Moisture killed every spark. Filipinos used dry palasan bamboo, split into fibers, friction method. In under 2 minutes. Fire. Then they crafted leaf bowls, boiled water, roasted cassava they found. Nearby, they even served the Americans a piece. General Hastings took a bite and froze. Round 2, Philippines 2, USA 0 Mission 3, Close Quarter Combat. Objective, controlled sparring, disarm techniques only. The Americans were taller, more muscular. Their strikes were heavy, powerful. But the Filipinos, lightning. They used Filipino kali and panantukan, blade-based movement adapted to hand. Small steps, tight angles, wrist traps. Each time an American lunged, he felt a tap on his ribs, chest, neck. Points scored before he even blinked. One US sergeant laughed while catching his breath. Damn, they're everywhere. Even American soldiers applauded. Round 3, Philippines 3, USA 0. Hastings folded his arms. He wasn't laughing anymore. He was interested. Mission 4, Ghost Snipers Objective. Locate and shoot targets hidden in unpredictable wind terrain. The American snipers hit 8 out of 10, clean, precise. The Filipinos took longer, listening to wind, watching leaves sway. When they finally started, 10-10. Then one Filipino sniper pointed at a branch 120 meters away, a leaf fluttering. He fired. Silence. Leaf fell. Even the U.S. side cheered. Round 4, Philippines 4, USA 0. General Hastings whispered, "Incredible. They feel the land." Mission 5. Rescue and extraction. Objective: retrieve a hostage and escape without detection. The Americans formed textbook formation, disciplined, structured. But dry branches snapped beneath heavy boots. The Filipino unit disappeared into foliage. Low crawl, wind-timed movement, camouflage with mud and leaves. Watchers placed to detect them later admitted, "We never heard them, never even saw them." Minutes later, the Filipinos emerged with the hostage. No footsteps, no sound, no broken leaves. Round 5, Philippines 5, USA's 0. The entire field fell silent. General Hastings walked to them and gave a slow, sincere applause. "You just taught us something our technology couldn't. Skill born from survival is beyond training." Pride swelled. Not boastful pride, but quiet honor. That night, Americans and Filipinos shared food, jokes, techniques. The jungle wasn't a threat anymore, it was a classroom. General Hastings stood before both flags. Strength isn't only muscle or weapon. Strength is the man who adapts, endures, survives. He then raised his glass to the Filipino troops. Never underestimate a Filipino warrior, especially in the jungle. You don't find them, they find you. Cheering broke out. Two nations walked away not as opponents, but as brothers in arms.